had a list of questions as well that I was answering, but was not recorded, unfortunately. But anyhow, so this morning we will continue with Ch.Ch. We are in the middle of the Ramananda Sambad, and we are hearing about, I think are we hearing Krishna Tattva now? Yes. Jai Shankar. So we are hearing Krishna Tattva, and we finished off with this excerpt from Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu, which is describing Krishna as akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ. You remember what that means? Akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ. That Krishna is the embodiment of all kinds of rasa. You understand something of this word rasa?
Yeah.
Okay. It's difficult to translate. But rasa means like ecstasy, taste, flavor, indicates different relationships with the Lord. So all kinds of taste, all kinds of joy, all variety of joy, happiness, ecstasy, sensation. Krishna is the very embodiment of that. So actually there's a nice expression of Srila Sridhar Maharaj where he says that consciously or unconsciously everyone's looking for Krishna, actually. Because everyone's looking for joy. Everyone's looking for happiness. So whether they know it or not, they're looking for Krishna, because Krishna is that. Krishna is the embodiment, the personification.
What's the difference between Krishna prema and rasa? Or is it the same?
Prema means love. So Krishna prema means love for Krishna. And the attainment of that we consider to be the highest thing. Rasa means more like a kind of joy, type of fulfillment. It's the word. It's also used. It means juice. That is one meaning of it. If that helps. like there's a particular juice that you get. I mean, it'll be used in a very ordinary way as well. Like if you're serving out a sabji, a vegetable, someone will ask for some rasa. Rasa means like the juice, Or also it'll be a way to describe like a wet sabji. I want the rasa, like sabji, like the wet sabji. So like there's a particular juice, particular flavor, particular joy that you get in everything that you do.
So it's just an internal thing, it's not external, or unless you use it.
Yeah, it's referring to a feeling, to a taste, to a sensation. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's a little confusing, because like you can refer to rasa, and rasa can be used in a mundane sense as well. There's mundane rasa and spiritual rasa, but we tend to use it to refer to the spiritual, expression. But in a very broad sense, we can say in our own lives we are getting some particular rasa in everything that we do. Like if you like to drink a particular kind of tea, or you like to watch a particular kind of movie, or you relish particular relationships. Those are that particular joy, that particular unique happiness that you're getting and seeking, and all of those things is called rasa. If you go to climb a mountain, there's a particular sensation, feeling that you're looking for, right? That's a kind of rasa. In a relationship that you have with your mother, there's a particular rasa. A relationship you have with your boyfriend or girlfriend or best friend or teacher or neighbor, there's some unique type of fulfillment that you get in each of those relationships. So our gurus, this is one way by which Krishna is understood to be the supreme Godhead, because he is the most complete expression of rasa. The highest development of rasa is found in him, is available with him. Okay, now you're looking lost again.
I was just thinking about something particular, and I was just trying to figure out what it would be. I was just thinking about when people irradiate that feeling, if that's because I thought that would have been prema, but if that's rasa.
No, rasa is something that one experiences oneself, or one has within oneself. But it is also exchanged, like in relationships. Yeah. So for the relationships that Krishna has, with his mother, so then these are categorized as different rasas, the different relationships Krishna has. There is Vatsalya rasa. The Vatsalya is referring to the mood of parenthood. Sakya ras, the mood of friendship. So there's a particular mood that is predominant in that exchange.
And then within all those is the love, the prema, because it's the love that they have for.
Well, we can say it's a way in which the prema is expressed.
Okay.
It's a mood of here we got it, a mood of love. Yeah, actually that's another way. It's nice you pointed that out, actually, because normally we will say dasya ras. Does that mean something to you now?
Is dasya French?
Servitorship. Like we say das and dasi after our names, right? So I'll say I'm Vishakha, dasi. I'm not thinking I'm Vishakha, but I'm the servant of Vishakha. So normally we refer to these relationships that Krishna has as rasas. So dasya rasa, relationship of servitude; sakya rasa, relationship of friendship. But I was interested to note that here in the Ramananda Sambad it refers to these relationships as different kinds of prema. So it said dasya prema, sakya prema, but you're following me. So it was referring to these relationships as different types of love. There's different. It's all prema, but there's some distinction in the type of rasa and the type of mood of prema. So there's the dasya prema, when love is expressed in the mood of servitude; sakya prema, when prema is expressed in the mood of friendship, and so on and so forth. So yeah, they're related, certainly. Does that make sense now? And so Krishna is described as the most complete and supreme Godhead because all of these different kinds of rasa are available with him. Whereas, for example, in the Narayan Vishnu conception, which correlates with the Christian conception of God the Father, there's an incompleteness there.
I don't just understand that right now.
Huh?
Just understand that now.
Okay. Because in God the Father, you can't have a relationship with him as your son, because so Vatsalya Ras or Vatsalya Prem is absent there, because he's this almighty, majestic, divine figure. You can't have Sakya Ras with him either, because he's too awe-inspiring. You can't jump on Narayan's shoulders and play with him. So that there's some deficiency in rasa. But in Krishna, all of these relationships, all of these rasas are available. Whatever it is whatever desire we have in our hearts for a particular type of joy, particular sensation, particular relationship, they can all be found with Krishna. If you want adventure, if you want a love story, it's all available with Krishna. Everything is there. Okay. So we finished with this verse from Bhakti-rasāmṛta Sindhu, the opening verse which describes Krishna with this famous expression, akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ, the embodiment of all types of ecstatic rasa. Pleasure, it is also translated as pleasure sometimes, rasa, like types of pleasure. In the beginning of Search for Sri Krishna, Srila Sridhar Maharshi, because there's a verse at the beginning of the Vedanta, actually it's the very first line, I think, of the Vedanta Sutra, which is the penultimate Vedic text. It begins, Atato Brahma Jigyasa, which means now search after Brahma, now search after spirit. The idea being that now one has finished their course of karma and the worldly plane, now come to a higher plane, a plane of spirit, a plane of consciousness. But then higher than that is the plane of love and rasa, the plane of love and joy and ecstasy in a spiritual sense. Because in this material world, we're seeking for rasa in lower things, right? This is our problem. By nature, we are rasa seekers. By nature, we're seeking pleasure. Maybe that's the simplest way to translate it. Good type of pleasure. But the problem is we're seeking it in mortal things. So then as a reaction, one may try to go to the plane of non-differentiated spirit, plane of consciousness, plane of renunciation. I want to get away from all of that, right? But beyond that is a positive plane of joy, a spiritual plane of spiritual joy. There's nothing wrong with rasa. There's nothing wrong with seeking ecstatic experience, but the spiritual expression of it must be sought. And so the Vedanta Sutra was the penultimate Vedic text, and it's giving this abstract spiritual advice. But then the final Vedic text was Srimad Bhagavatam, which is all about spiritual rasa, the spiritual expression of rasa. And so Vedanta Sutra is saying, leave, in a sense, we could say the Vedanta Sutra is saying, give up your search for rasa in the lower plane, just look for pure consciousness, spirit, And then Srimad Bhagavatam is like the next installment, giving the spiritual expression of rasa. And so in the search for Sri Krishna, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he comments, Srimad Bhagavatam replaces the search for Brahma, the search for spirit, with the search for rasa, the search for ecstasy, for pleasure, for joy. Because spirit, that is a dry thing, to just search after plain spirit. This is a very dry thing. And so therefore, rasa jigyasa, he says, the search for rasa, this is the real need of our hearts. Maybe we can read that quickly. It should be there. Search for Sri Krishna. Search for Sri Krishna, reality, the beautiful. Maybe no. It should be. The Spanish, I think I see the Spanish version. You got it. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, this introduction is so nice. Here we go. Everyone is searching for rasa, pleasure. Yeah, Srila Maharaj renders it as pleasure here. Everyone is searching for rasa, pleasure. The status of rasa is the highest. As persons, we have our subjective existence, but rasa, pleasure, has his super subjective existence. He is a person. He is akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ, the reservoir of all pleasure. He is Krishna. Rasa is Krishna. There cannot be rasa in any other place but Krishna. He is the fountainhead of all different types of rasa. So, by the nature of our constitution, we have to search after Krishna. In the Brahma Sutra it is said, inquire after the supreme cause of this world. Search. From where has everything come? How is everything maintaining its existence? By whom? And ultimately, where does everything enter after death? That is Brahma, spirit, the most fundamental plane, from where everything springs up, remains, and ultimately enters. Where is Brahma? The Brahma Sutra advises us to inquire after the prime cause, the biggest, the all-accommodating. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replaced that. Srimad Bhagavatam replaced that with Krishnanusandhan, the search for Sri Krishna. Brahma jigyasa, the search for spirit, is a dry thing. That is only the exercise of your thinking faculty, a jugglery, a reason. You understand when we say Brahma or Brahman? That means something to you? Brahman?
Is Brahman like a place, and then, or like Brahman like this, like the
Well, Brahman, it is one form of the Lord's. From the Vaishnava perspective, Jai Shishi. From the Vaishnava perspective, the Brahman plane, it is a plane of pure consciousness. And yes, it is actually like encompassing everything, but it also has like a particular concentrated place, which is where we actually emanate from, the Jiva Shakti. And that is what we refer to sometimes as the marginal plane. It is a plane between the spiritual. It's like kind of like a buffer zone in a sense between the spiritual plane and the material plane. It's like a middle zone. And it is a plane of non-differentiated consciousness, spirit. There's no form there, no form, no variety. It's just a plane of pure consciousness, pure spirit. And the Vaishnavas understand that to be simply Krishna's halo. It is Krishna's effulgence. It is the effulgence of the personal form of divinity. That is our understanding of it. And what was I going to say next? So the Vedas, they describe three main expressions of the Absolute. There's Bhagavan, which means the personal form of the Lord. And that includes Lord Vishnu, that includes all the avatars like Ramachandra, Vaman Dev, and so on and so forth. Oh, it's Ramachandra's appearance day, isn't it? Thursday. So that's like a category, Bhagavan. It refers to personal form of the Lord. And Krishna, he is described as Swayam Bhagavan, means the original Bhagavan. He's the source of all the others. So Bhagavan, personal form, expression of the Absolute. And then there's the Brahman, or Brahma, expression of the Absolute, which is this non-differentiated form of spirit, consciousness. And then there's also Paramatma, which is the Paramatma, living in our hearts, very small form. So these are the three main expressions that the Lord takes. And so Brahma, mostly the Vedas, as we've heard from Srila Sridhar Maharaj, they're pointing towards Brahma conception, Brahman conception. The idea being that, for persons who are absorbed in material life, to simply be, reminded of there being a spiritual plane beyond this world of matter, we should, that is the most helpful for us. For persons who aren't really ready to enter very seriously into, a search for the ultimate reality, then simply to know about the existence of Brahma, this hazy plane of consciousness, just to be reminded that you are spirit, you are not matter, that's kind of enough. So mostly the Vedas, they're pointing to Brahma conception. So this statement that Srila Sridhar Maharaj is quoting, Tato Brahma Jigyasa, search after spirit, just like what we were talking about yesterday, hazy spiritual advice. That's where most people, that's the most they're ready for, right? If you try to go into something more specific, it's going to turn them off, right? So hazy spiritual advice, So a lot of the Vedas are giving this hazy spiritual advice, just to search for something more, search for the spiritual source of reality. Go beyond just a mundane conception of life, that you were born just to fulfill your selfish whims, etc. Yeah, well, they don't know it's the halo of Krishna, because they don't necessarily believe that Krishna is the source. So many persons who follow the Vedas, they think Brahma is the highest thing. It's just a plane of spirit, and we will enter that. No. Yeah, we'll merge into that plane of consciousness. We are consciousness, we are spirit, and we'll merge into that plane of spirit. And then there's different varieties of conceptions about that, like the Mayavadis, the impersonalists. Their idea is a little more insidious, because they they believe that we are that Brahma, that we are God. Not just that we'll enter and like join there, but that we are God. So it's a little darker. I mean, not that the other is dark at all, but it has a dark. There's some ugliness there. Let's say.
I feel like the Brahman conception comes like maybe it doesn't come, but a lot of people go towards that because of like they want to end suffering rather than like looking for joy. They just,
Exactly.
Like, get out of the pain that they're feeling.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
Do you think that's why Buddhism is really like?
Yes. Exactly.
Maybe you need to repeat that because they can only
Say it more loudly for the microphone.
You should say.
Yes, exactly. People are attracted to that conception. It's popular because they're suffering, so they want cessation of suffering. Yes, exactly.
But if they knew that this was here, then maybe they would choose this. Like
The problem, it's too much of a jump for them. It's too much. It's too many steps. You know, because they're situated within the experience of suffering in this world. So the next logical step is let's just get out of this world to a plane of spirit. So then to go into discussion of a specific conception of a positive expression of spiritual reality, that's just too complicated. No.
Or maybe they haven't got to the right association.
They haven't met Kat.
no, I was like that for a bit. I was like that. I was doing the Brahman thing for a bit because I was in like pain. So I just wanted to.
You can speak more loudly.
It's
No, it's very nice. I'm getting feedback.
This is real experience.
Exactly.
So you have experience.
Exactly. I'm getting feedback, and yesterday someone told me, Lalita Madhya Prabhu, like, oh, those Australians are so nice, and she answered, that girl answered so nicely the question, you know. So they don't just want, I'm just like boring, like I'm just here talking all the time. Like, they want to hear other people. Want to hear your experience, like living experience. Yeah. Many people go through that. But from where we are, it is logical. There must be a positive spiritual reality. It's not just about becoming free of suffering, but we need to find a conception of life worth living for. Just to get out of suffering, what is that? That's not a very great attainment. We actually need to do something, positive in a spiritual plane. But you see, part of their thinking is, because this world is an active and dynamic plane that is of the nature of suffering, therefore all types of dynamic existence, it must be associated with suffering. You understand my point? They think that, activity, feeling, movement, they all equal suffering. This is the idea of Buddhism, right? And Mayavad conception.
Reaction.
Yeah, reactionary.
And there's also involved the loss of energy. When someone does something, like here you become weaker. So
Right, you lose energy,
yeah.
right.
What do you mean? Can you explain that? What are you trying to say?
The loss of energy, when you're working, you're losing the energy you acquire. So there's an assumption that in the positive dynamic plane, in the plane of the positive side, if there's any movement, there must be also a loss of energy. That's my wife's thing. So the ultimate goal is for them is to remove all the suffering and then merge in that blissfulness where there's no dynamics, or like peacefulness. asleep. You know?
So yeah, there's different variations on those who see Brahman as the highest thing. Those who worship that, see that as the supreme entity, and that is, superior to me. And then there's those on the Mayavad slant who believe that I am that, I am one with that. And the goal of life is to, regain that position as God.
Don't they also think that we are constantly situated in that flat plane, and the fact that we are experiencing something, that's the illusion. And by getting rid of the illusions, one starts distinguishing and realize himself always there, always been there, and merges in that voidness. Something like that?
I'm not very, clear on there. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not able to say.
I think there's multiple different conceptions about it.
Well, he's speaking in particular about the Mayavad or Shankaracharya conception. So they have a very clear, philosophy.
Saying it's like a
I'm
dream.
not sure.
Like when you sleep, there's nothingness, and then all of a sudden you start to perceive dream, which has so many different features and qualities, and so they assume that the life we're living, that the qualities we perceive with our body, that's the dream, right? And that's the illusion. But as soon as one becomes self-realized, this illusion is withdrawn, and then they merge into that deep slumber of where there's no suffering, because there's no nightmare going on. There's no suffering, there's nothingness. And in that state, it's like ultimate bliss for them. But the Vaishnavas, they speak about the dynamics, the positive side, saying that this is not the goal, this is just like a layer between positive and negative sides of the reality. And there's a positive one where there's dynamics and there's a movement, but that movement is of a different nature. That movement does not, you don't use your energy for that, you don't become weaker, but it's like
life-giving.
Life-giving, empowering. It's like, there's an example of music. When someone hears the beautiful music, then it's like one cannot but resist and dance. It's like just like moving. The music is dancing him, so the music makes one dance. And in the same way, there's an intensity of feelings, love, affection that makes you move, and it's not really making you weak, but it's giving you more life and more like different from here.
Yeah, I like to think of that as the reaction of dedication, because it is the spirit of exploitation which is enervating, which drags everything down, which degrades. Whereas the spirit of dedication, the reaction is, uplifting, increasing, and everything's always becoming more beautiful and more fresh. And like Gurudev, he gave a very simple example that if I pick up an apple, in this world, if I pick up an apple and throw it across the room, then it will get bruised, it will crush. But in Goloka, if somebody does that, the apple will get more life. Or also, he says like if a tiger is going to eat a deer, then the deer is happy. Everything, because everything's based on dedication. The reaction is, increased joy. Everything there, increased joy, increased freshness, increased happiness, everything. So, but here everything's always going down, down, because of the spirit of exploitation.
One line that stuck with me is from Sriyukta, is life, service is life-giving, not depleting.
And one who's, that's why we have to, if we're not feeling that if we're not feeling increasing enthusiasm to continue with service life, we have to question ourselves if we're really connecting with the real current of dedication. That we're not just playing in the world of our own mind, but if we're really connecting with the will of Guru and Gauranga and that real spiritual current, then we will feel that. We will feel.
Is there a part of the journey when you're going through the desert? It's described as when you almost abandoned your previous abode and you are on the way to the positive side, then you have to pass through the desert where there's nothingness, in a way. And in that stage of your journey, those who are traveling near you, they are the ones who help you to carry on. So like in the beginning, you might have a lot of inspiration, drive, so many energy, so to say, to carry on moving. But then more you move, more you get exhausted in a way, and then you don't see the results, and most of the things which were appealing before stopped being appealing to you, but then you still didn't really get the real thing, and then you just traveling throughout this desert where everything is just so intense and difficult, and the only support you get is from your friends for traveling with you. Is it also described as a stage of the journey, not having that much enthusiasm?
Yeah, I mean, because we're not able to serve, we're not always able to serve with the proper mood and with the proper conception, and also we're carrying a lot of karmic baggage, so different things will come at different times to, that will take us away internally or externally. So yes, those periods, I would think would come in 99.9% of cases. I mean, where Gurudev quotes those, I'm not sure if they're given by Bhakti Vinod, but there are those different, it is described those different stages that practitioners will go through. And the first one, of course, is what's rendered as false enthusiasm, utsahamai, that emotional enthusiasm that we get in the beginning. And then there's another one, struggle with the senses, then being distracted by the byproducts of devotion, because as a result of devotion, then fame, name and fame, wealth, many things may come as a result of devotion, especially those who have a high position as a guru or something like that. Then that's an obstacle that is faced. So certainly, yeah, so many different things we'll have to face. But as you say, if we have good association, and if beneath it all we have sincerity at heart, that even though we may go through periods of less enthusiasm, we still have that feeling in our heart, there's some drive there that we want to continue, that will pull us through, for sure. Okay, well, I'd like to just finish this, what we were reading here, and then we can close for this morning. Brahma Jigyasa, the search for spirit, is a dry thing. That is only the exercise of your thinking faculty, a jugglery of reason. Leave that behind. Begin the search for Sri Krishna and quench the thirst of your heart. Rasa Jigyasa, Raso Vaisa. The things acquired by your reason won't satisfy you. Gyan, knowledge, cannot really quench your thirst. So instead of Brahma Jigyasa, accept Krishna Nusandan and begin the search for Sri Krishna. Where is Krishna? Our real want will be satisfied only by getting the service of Krishna, not by anything else. We want to satisfy the innermost demands of our hearts. We don't care to know where we are or what is controlling everything, but we really want to quench our thirst for rasa, for madhurya, for sweetness. We must search neither for knowledge nor for the controller of this world. We must search after rasa, anandam, after beauty and charm. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srimad Bhagavatam have taught us what to beg for, what to pray for, what to want. They have taught us, if you beg, beg for Krishna, not for anything else. So the fate of the Vaishnavas, the students of the Bhagavat and the followers of Mahaprabhu, is sealed in the search for Sri Krishna. We want nothing else but Krishna. The Vedas say, Shrinvantu Vishve Amritasya Putra. O you sons of nectar, sons of the nectarian ocean sea, please listen to me. You were born in nectar, you were born to taste nectar, and you must not allow yourselves to be satisfied by anything but nectar. So, however misguided you may be for the time being, awake, arise, search for that nectar, that satisfaction. The Vedas tell us, Om. Om means a big yes. What you are searching for, that is. Don't be disappointed. The Vedas say that the object of our inner search exists. The common search of all your hearts is existing, and your thirst will be quenched. By your constitution, you are meant for that, and you deserve that, so don't be afraid, don't be cowed down. It is already given in your being. And you can never be satisfied with anything else. So prepare yourself after your long search to receive that long missing nectar in its full form and quality. Awake, arise, search for your fortune, and you cannot but have that. It is your birthright. It is the wealth of your own soul. It cannot but be within you. You have no other business, no other engagement but Krishna Nusandan. The search for Sri Krishna, reality, the beautiful. Wow. So beautiful, so powerful, very rousing. Jai Shri Bhakti Ch.Ch. Devidasi. Krishna Mohini Devi, do you want to sing? Hare Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha. Jadavaya Madhavaya
Vrinda Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Akshantara Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Nirmala Charja Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Shri Guru Garanga Dada Giridhari Ji Ki Jai, assembled devotees Ki Jai, of the world devotees Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanand.